Hello, and welcome to another episode of African Business Stories, your insight into female innovators and entrepreneurs building and running businesses in Africa. I'm Ejike Okoye, and on the show today, we're celebrating Father's Day. In honor of my father and my mother, who was a father figure to us, I sat down with my brother, Ejike Egbuagu. He reflects on lessons and legacies they left for us and the type of father he would like to be. Enjoy. Hi, Ejike. Welcome to African Business Stories.
Hi, I'm happy to be on.
Awesome. I should say, for the benefit of my listeners, that Ejike happens to be my one and only brother, and it's an honor and a real privilege to be able to talk to him today as we celebrate Father's Day. So thank you again, Ejike.
Thank you for having me.
Sure. So, I just wanted to, in the spirit of Father's Day, I was just wondering if you can just tell us some of your fondest memories of your dad growing up, our dad.
So I have a lot of memories of Daddy coming back from work and putting on his radio. It's a vintage national radio. I think it was from the 60s, and I still have it. Everyone that sees it always speaks about it. Putting on the radio when we would take over the TV, and he wouldn't be able to watch the things he wants to watch because we're watching cartoons or some random stuff, and he would quietly leave us and go listen to his radio. I remember that a lot. I remember him um, laying down on the couch and watching us do nothing, play around in the living room. I used to play with the image of the carpet, the rug. It had like squares. So I used to play with the squares, and he would just sit there or lay there rather for hours, reading a newspaper and watching me uh, play. These are some of the memories I have of him. I also have memories of him writing things down, writing his thoughts. He had a lot of thoughts, different ideas, business ventures, collaborations, and he wrote a lot of them down.
Hmm.
These are some fun memories I have. Also, going to play tennis with him. I think
Yeah.
he introduced me to tennis at a very, very early age. I remember going to play tennis, the jokes at the tennis court with his friends. Um, just activities out of the house. He encouraged a lot of relaxation. I think he wasn't
Hmm.
very read your books all the time kind of dad, and he was very relaxed, very chill. These are some good memories I have of him.
Thank you so much for sharing that. Those are really fun memories. Really fun. Um, so you often say that your mom, our mom, was both a mother and a father to you. I've always thought that was interesting, and I was wondering if you can unpack that a little for us.
Okay, I mean, so very simply put, my father passed away a day before my 18th birthday. So what that did was that at that particular time in my life, I was starting to understand a lot of things about life, a lot of things about um, hard work, about positioning, about ambition, about planning, and these are very critical lessons, that everyone learns, um, especially in the life of a young man, and these things were taught by my mother, and she played that kind of role in my life, not just taking care of me and caring about um, my health and well-being. She played the role of guiding my dreams, my ambitions, and opening my mind to want more all the time, and making me believe that anything is possible. Not just that it's possible the way a loving mother would do, but also showing me how, I could use my resources, my tools, my relationships to put them together to actually achieve my goals. And these are things that I find a father would typically, the kind of role a father would typically play, in showing you the building blocks of your life, and your future. And these are things that my mother did for me. So I call her father, mother figure, and that's what she was to me.
So what would you say were the greatest life lessons that you learned from her, and how do you apply them in leadership today?
I mean, it's very interesting that you use the word leadership, um, because one of the best ways to describe my mother would be to say she was a leader, um, and that word is very important to her. From a very early age, I remember her telling me that you're born to be a leader, and she's been saying that for decades. And only at the turn of maybe my third decade on this planet did I start to understand the weight of that word, leadership. So, if I try and define what I understood from her and her life, was that leadership was about service. Leadership was about um, compassion, about people. Leadership was about humility. And these are the things that have really driven me, to want to play the kind of role that I play in my life, my family, in my business, and with the people that I work with. And it's really all about service and not about me,
Hmm.
but it's about what we believe and how we're trying to bring it all together to achieve our goals. And these are things that I learned from my mother directly, 100%. She believed in fighting for the person that had no one to fight for them. She believed in taking her message to the forgotten, to the weakest of the weak,
Hmm.
and giving them a voice. Because sometimes people just want to be noticed, just want to be regarded. And Nigeria has a way of not regarding some people, making some people feel more important. And she believed that her role was to identify with those people that were forgotten. So one of the
Hmm.
lessons was leading by example, serving, with humility.
Right.
And these are things that I try to live up to in my life and in my family.
Thank you so much for sharing that. That means a lot. That means a lot to us. So I know that you're a very intentional person and very deep thinker. And I was wondering, so you may not have kids now, but you are going to have kids soon. And what type of father when you think about your future, what kind of father do you think that you would be?
Yeah, Kego, that's a very important question. I mean, it's something that I've thought about many times. Something I've actually talked about with my wife, and I think I could only say the kind of father I would hope to be, that I plan to be. God help me. But first, I would pray to be the kind of father that believes in my children and makes them know that I believe in them. Very intentional about that. They have to know, they have to feel that I believe in them 100%. I would love to be the kind of father that lives by example, not just to talk and say what you should do, but show it with the life that I live. And that often means sacrifice, having the courage, you know, to do something just because I know that this child is watching and this child is learning just by watching me. I'd like to be the kind of father that makes my child believe that anything is possible. Truly, anything is possible. And as long as you can believe and you can prepare appropriately, you can do anything. And I think that is kind of the key of parenthood. I mean, like you said, I don't have any children yet, but growing up with my mother, I think I could say very clearly that this is the objective, of showing your child that anything is possible,
Right.
and you can achieve what you set out to achieve.
Thank you so much for your time, Ejike, and I wish you a very happy Father's Day.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for listening. That was one of many conversations in the Father's Day special Lessons and Legacy. All the conversations in the series are available on my website, www.africanbusinessstories.com. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast on iTunes, on the Apple Podcast app, or the Google Podcast app. And do leave us a review so we know how we're doing. I'm Ejike Okoye, and you have been listening to African Business Stories.